Hello, this is Abby. Today we have a very deep topic which is in every house, well, almost every house. We are going to talk about the impact of social media on children. And with me here in Aroza Wellbeing Center in Dubai, I have beautiful psychologist and a doctor. But hi, Tricia.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. And I have Dr. Farah. Hello, doctor.
Hi, Abby. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for being here again.
Thank you so much for having me.
And of course, I have Elise. Hello, Elise.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So, social media and children. There is a huge connection between them. It's going on, and it's going to increase. Is there an impact? Tricia?
I definitely think there is an impact. I think that children are absolutely absorbing absolutely everything that we give them and everything that's around them. So social media is a huge part of their lives. And I think it has to be very, very carefully monitored. And I also think that it's a great journey for parents, you know, to be on so that they can really get to know their children in a completely different way, because it will bring out much more from their child, or it will have an effect on their child which makes them withdraw. So it's a journey for the parents as well to accompany their children during a social media experience.
Someone said they are with us, but they are not really with us.
But that's the majority of people these days, right? You are in a room or you're meeting with people, and then every 2 minutes the phone is out, somebody's checking, right? And what are they checking? Are they checking anything important, or is it just scrolling through Instagram, or what's really happening? So people are present, but they're not really present. You know, their minds are distracted.
That's true.
We are having a conversation here. We are, fully here, right?
Yes.
We're fully here. We are, drinking our tea. We are,
living
speaking.
the moment.
Living the moment. We're enjoying each other's company. But a lot of times, because of it's like that brain compulsion, right? That people, I need to check, I need to check,
an
I need
addiction.
to check. Yeah.
It is an addiction. It is an addiction.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder also if it's not the fact that we're so used to having so much so quickly.
That's true.
That we get bored with normal life. We get bored. I mean, thank you for saying that we're having a nice time. Really?
Yeah. I am.
Where's my phone, please? But, speak for yourself, really. But the thing is, children get very quickly bored. They always have, haven't they? At the dinner table or even in a family gathering, they're the ones thinking, get me out of here.
Yeah, it's forever. It's never going to end.
And now they don't have to physically leave the area to get out of there. They can just open up their phone. And so it's a parallel universe which we have no visibility over, and we have to be very, very cautious and prudent as parents.
What were you doing when you were a child? If you didn't have a phone, for sure.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. Oh God, I'm a dinosaur. I mean, I didn't have a phone until I was 40-something. That's so true. And I come from a very warm country. Lots of good weather. So I was always outside riding bikes, or throwing stones across a lake, or doing something very outdoors.
Not virtually, actually.
Actually, and the singing competitions with your cousins at Christmas, or swimming, running. It was very outdoorsy, and I do appreciate that that's not always possible in other countries, because I have very dear people in my life who come from Europe, and they could not possibly have spent that much time outdoors with the weather. But I think that as a child growing up, and good point actually, Abby, because my experience as a child, even into adolescence and young adulthood, is so drastically removed from what it is today that it takes a lot of awareness and tolerance and understanding to meet your child where they are, as opposed to where you want to drag them to.
But if we have to take it to another level, right? What you're describing years and years of that constant learning and growing in a physical space, interacting with that physical space.
Exploration.
You mentioned riding bikes, singing, all these things that play really, it plays on our nerve endings, it plays on our brain development, what we're able to do, learning that we have to fall, get back up. All this is it's life lessons that we go through. Now, if majority of childhood now is in front of a screen, are we learning that? Or what are we learning, right? We're learning short-term goals or short-term gratification.
Yes,
right?
Which I've seen in CEOs, by the way. So, you know, we don't really ever grow up. When we are given what we want in the moment that we want it without waiting, life becomes extremely shallow.
True.
And stressful.
And stressful.
Because you don't get what you want immediately all the time, right?
Yes, that time and energy, that investment, the personal investment to make your life the way you want it actually disappears in so many ways, because you can live virtually. You know, I mean, you can literally live virtually. So it's a bit of a shame, mind you. I do have to say that as we walk through life, very well said, that we're not really in the moment, we're not really present. We do walk around as if we have a virtual reality helmet on, you know, being scared by our thoughts. You know, we could be driving along and all of a sudden, did I turn off the gas? And, you know, so, you know, we really are not living in the moment anyway. So if we add social media to it, it's very...
But a lot of people live for social media as well, you know, the teenagers, to get that recognition, or they get maybe status, or they get that, you know, whatever positive feedback they're looking for, right, to guide their self-confidence.
You just reminded me, I did ask my friend's daughter the other day, I said, so what do you want to do when you grow up? And it just threw me. I was like, wow.
What did she say?
She said, I want to be a YouTube influencer, or a, what was it called? A YouTuber.
YouTuber.
She wants to be a YouTuber. And I was like, oh.
Well, they do make a lot of money.
They do make a lot of money by now.
Yeah, but it just shocked me. It's not like a traditional, you know, I wasn't
you were expecting like a lawyer or a doctor or a pilot or an engineer or vet or something.
We have to keep up with the times as well, right? The times are changing.
Now I feel old.
Well, by the time she will become 18 or something, there might be like a new Instagram or new
something
program or
totally
something
different.
totally new.
Because that's what I tell my kids, right? When people ask them, you know, what it is they want to be when they grow up, and we have that discussion at home, I'm like, whatever it is you're going to be hasn't been, you know, it's not here as yet, you know. You can make whatever you want and you can live your life however you want it, right? And you never know. So don't limit yourself in terms of what you can do or what you see. And that's a problem, I think, mostly with social media, is that we are being told things a lot through a screen.
And we're being told that that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's what it is.
Life.
And that's what we should be like, because I'm seeing it every day. I mean, body image, dysmorphia.
Exactly.
You know, young girls are being pressured more and more to show more of themselves, even to dress differently,
to wear more makeup,
to grow up fast.
Yes.
That's a good point. When I visited
to move differently, dress differently.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true, actually. To move.
It's so scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
I visited Elise in her place in England, and she took me around, actually, the village. You live in a village, right?
Yes.
She took me around and she said, I used to play here, I used to cycle here. I never heard Elise saying, I used to take selfies here.
I used to do TikTok here.
TikTok here. No, nothing. We used to cook here, Abby. This is my friend. Oh, I don't like that person. You know? And I said, wow, that's nice.
I used to climb that tree.
She showed me all the trees. We went to the church.
Exactly.
And I said, wow. She said, you see that allotment? I know the person who owns, etc., etc. But nowadays, if you speak to someone, whether it's old person or a young person, who are you talking to? Who are you playing a game with? Oh, I'm playing with somebody in Iceland. Yeah. Do you know where is Iceland? Oh, I know where is Iceland. I even know the person's house in Iceland. Goodness me, what kind of technology will it be?
You know, but there's also the flip side, right? In terms of the world that we're living in, right? The world, even my hometown where I grew up, it's not the same as when we were younger, right? And we can't go outdoors and play. It's not safe, you know. So we are in a different time, and just going back home, I have to be careful when I have my kids outside. We have to be with them. You can't just leave them running about by themselves. So every, you know, country and every society is different and comes with its own sets of challenges.
Exactly.
So now as we're talking about this, I remember my childhood, it was just like that. We played cricket in the road, we played football in the road, and you know,
safe.
You were
safe.
you knew
it was okay, you know. We would have these even in the night, we would be playing cards at a neighbor's house outside. You know what I mean? And we're sitting there and we're enjoying, and that was fun, you know.
I will add my voice to yours, because us being in Dubai, safe and secure, we think, well, you know what, the whole
world is
and
safe.
it's not, exactly, and it's not.
Well, you know,
So, yeah.
and I think
thank God we have Dubai here.
And that's another thing behind social media. I think we have to be careful as parents not to use it as a babysitter, not to use it as that safe place, or at least I know that they're safe, they're in the house.
Give them an
on
iPad,
their
they will
screens.
be okay.
Yes, and I think that, you know, as we were discussing earlier, to put a screen in front of children to eat along with is a trap.
Yeah.
You know,
But you know,
it's a slippery slope.
We're discussing that, but we see that in Dubai here all the time, right? So as much as how safe Dubai is, we're still doing, the kids are still in the same way. We recently went to Disney, and there was this 2-hour lineup to get to this ride. And well, my kids were going along dying in slow agony. But there was a little girl, she couldn't be more than 2.5. She was on her phone for the entire walk. Going around.
She did not experience that then.
Exactly, and not only that, by an hour and a half, when my kids gave up and started crying and, you know, really acting up, but I can't blame them. It's natural to be there, right? And I mean, it's painful for everybody. I wish I could have cried too, right? But my mother-in-law actually commented, we're like, look at how well behaved this girl is. I'm like, that child has been on a screen for like the whole journey. They have not been here. Like, and that's frying her brain, whether the parents recognize it or not, but her brain is getting fried.
And if
completely.
you ask that girl who's behind you, no idea. Who's in front of you, no idea. How's the weather, no idea.
Also, where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Are you even in Disney?
And a very natural human experience to be patient and to learn patience and to learn consideration for the people in front of you, the people behind you.
Exactly.
You know, to be a social being. Whereas this is antisocial to be on a screen the whole time. I think it takes. There are very educative sides to it, and there are bonuses to it. But I also think that the downside is that we become self-absorbed by this virtual experience, and we lose touch with reality.
Elise, from your experience as a psychologist, what kind of impact do you think being on social media on children?
I want to add a point actually about it. Something that really worries me is the cyberbullying that now takes place.
Wow.
And
this is a huge...
It's quite a scary thing to think of. I mean, for you guys as parents, it's must be a constant worry. Who are my children talking to? Who are they interacting with? And, you know, are they safe? Are they okay?
My daughter had a person at school, same age, who was not terribly well supported, I would say, in her life probably, who created a fake Facebook page in my daughter's name and literally abused all the teachers, all the people in my daughter's name. And we found out about it, of course, after the impact on everyone. And you can't go into Facebook and take that down. The person who built the page has to do that.
I was a victim of that, actually. My teenage years I don't know if you all know ICQ. ICQ was
that's an older program.
Yeah, so that was back in the day, right? Like, that's when I now started, and there's a little flower dialing up, right? And that was like my first interaction with the internet and that
Anybody
sort of
using that program?
Well, that is what I used.
If
anybody knows it, exactly.
Goodness me.
So yeah, that's when I was a teen,
But that was the WhatsApp that time.
That was back then, right? And I got a fake profile created
in your name?
Under my name, and apparently it was so nasty that my computer couldn't read the words because it kept seeing blanks. And as my aunt found it, and I was in big trouble because she was like, "What's going on with you?"
What are you doing?
And I'm like, "I swear, I was not. It's not me,
wasn't
you know."
me.
Yeah, it wasn't me. She's like, "I need to speak to your father."
It's extremely difficult to deal with because then the school got involved, and she'd done this for many other people, and the bullying that my daughter was feeling, that everything was in her name, and then things were being said about her elsewhere.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, children withdraw. I in my business, I see a lot of children who have been bullied on the internet.
Yeah.
And
that's
really
a very valid point, Elise.
It's so scary.
That's a very, very, very valid point. So, whether we like it or not, social media has an impact, not just on children, by the way, on us. It doesn't matter how old you are, you will be impacted positively and negatively. It's two-edged sword. Use it the way you want, but with moderation. Now, before you give that tablet or that device or whatever to your child, think about how long you're going to give it to. Are you monitoring? Are you aware what's happening? Exactly what Elise said, cyber thing. Do I know who's contacting my daughter, my son? Am I aware what's going on inside my child's brain? Maybe they will be programmed for something nasty. Maybe they will be programmed for something nice, but under your supervision and approval. I do agree with every point made here, but whatever we do, we have to know for sure there is an impact on everything we do in life. And social media is a huge part of our life, whether we want it or not, and it's gonna get more and more. We used to have 2G speed, now we have 3G, 4G, 5G, and I'm expecting 12G very soon. So these kind of technology, inevitable. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe, share and like. Hope to see you soon, and for now we say bye-bye.